All right. Looks like we're having trouble editing. We're having trouble streaming to Facebook. This may be an issue on Facebook end. Possible stream is ended or deleted on Facebook. We'll keep trying to let you know if it's resolved. All right. So hopefully we're streaming to Facebook. I'm getting a pop-up that says that we're having some difficulties, but hopefully that gets resolved. And I also linked the YouTube link. So hopefully you guys are watching. I don't normally do this, but I'm going to intro the intro. We did Smog to Surf recently. It's a really fun ride that we do at RBC every year that starts from either Riverside or Anaheim or closer, and it works its way all the way out to the beach. We did a gravel version of this, which was a significantly longer time commitment, 58 miles. And we'll go ahead and play that while you get your stuff. We have a lot of stuff today on the show to talk about: nominations, cool products. What's up, Hugo? Thanks for the shout out, buddy. And all kinds of different stuff. So you'll actually see Hugo featured in this video. It's just 2 minutes and 47 seconds. So get your Coke and watch the show. You're winded. Table. These are really cool looking apartments. All right. So thanks for watching that. We'll do a couple of announcements, and that was for Eric's birthday. You know you're my hero, man. Good stuff. I hope I'm as awesome as you at 58. All right. So announcements. So a couple of things. So finances, nominations. DJ Sadiq is in the background. He's going to pull some stuff up for me. So finances for pay for members on our website. We're trying to make sure that everything is completely transparent, and we'll have this posted for you guys. Let me find it here. Treasurer's report. I should have said that so Sadiq knew what it was. This will be posted within the website. So the short version is in the bottom right there. Thank you guys for charitable contributions, because without you guys helping us on some of these events, we wouldn't be solvent, right? So when we start the year, we kind of project things. and we are going to be at negative 1,394. We are positive 403. So that's people just helping out when we have stuff come up, and all the different events. As you guys know, everything is going to cost more to do nowadays. So nomination committee. So within our bylaws, we have to have this whole nomination thing. We have to follow all of these procedures. Now, normally when we had in-person meetings, this was easier to do according to these older bylaws, but we're trying to figure out how to make those work with this new digital age. How are we going to do that? Well, if you're a paid for member, Sadiq is going to send out an email. So there's two things we need to do. One, we need you to contact us if you want to be part of the nomination committee. That's going to be just making sure everything's above board on who gets nominated. And then, of course, after the nomination committee is done, then we'll put out another polling Google form or something that basically says, I nominate this person. We'll put all of those within a list, and then everybody will poll and vote for those people, and then everything is above board. So please wait for that email, or you can just, contact me, I guess, or Sadiq, and then we can just start putting your name down if you want to do the nominations committee to do that. So a couple more announcements. Psych-R USA is doing a demo program, which is pretty cool. And so basically what we're going to show you here is kind of the verbiage, but basically they have a 52 through 58. And you tell them like, hey, this is something I want to demo. And it's a Domani SL6, really cool looking. And basically you just tell them you want to basically demo that, and you can check it out. We're going to talk a little bit on this program on e-bikes, so we'll get to that in a minute, but this is just part of the announcements. And then there's an open multi-group ride, multiple shops. So Don's involved, Psych-R USA is involved. They got everything from A to D, and looks like they're going to have hamburgers, hot dogs, chips, and water. And you can purchase beer from Hangar 24. So that looks like a really cool thing. He did check with us to make sure it wasn't anything conflicting in our calendar. That is October 14th. Last thing of announcements is sometimes when we're trying to do events, we're looking for volunteers, and we're trying to say, hey, come out and ride this event, and hey, volunteer for this event. Well, we have a gravel event. They're trying to get back off the ground, the Hardman Classic, September 9th. Looks like they already got a lot of people signed up. All we're trying to do is make sure I can get a few good men or ladies to help me. I will be volunteering. There's intersections where we're simply trying to make sure that people don't get hit. So they have vests we can wear, like reflective vests, and they have they'll probably have something, signs or something like that. We can figure out that. And basically it's just like, if you see cars coming, you stop the cars. If you see bikes coming and you feel like they need to stop, and we just need to cover 3 intersections. I think me and Eric are covering 2. But if we can get a couple, some gravel people to help with road stuff and vice versa, it makes more sense than trying to convince the same people to do the ride and volunteer. And that's typically what we've been doing. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Tony up on stage.
Hey, how you doing? How you guys doing?
Living the dream. So wanted to ask you a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about you.
I like to ride bikes. I'm a business owner, and when I'm not out there working the field, I'm out there putting in the miles. And RBC has been a great component to my fitness and my mental health.
You said Tony the Tiger. Ooh, that's good. So getting out and ride. How did you learn about RBC?
I learned about RBC through my old bike club. They used to cross path and share sag stops. And I got to know a couple of the riders along, on our routes. And once that dried up, or that group didn't ride anymore, I shifted over, to RBC, and they welcomed me with open arms.
Awesome. And what has the RBC community meant to you specifically?
You know what? Right now, in its current state, it means the world to me. It's like I said, it's my exit. It's my my serenity. Sometimes life can be a bit challenging or a bit much, and we don't really show it or talk about it. But getting out there and just meeting with our friends and putting in some miles and just talking with each other, has really helped me and become a more evolved person and just like a better person overall.
That's good.
I like it.
Yeah, it's digging deep. And I think someone had once said too, like men, we typically work best shoulder to shoulder, so when we're
Absolutely.
writing or, working on some project, that's how men kind of connect. We work shoulder to shoulder. Women are typically better face to face talking.
Correct.
Guys typically aren't really good at talking. Community, go into that. And we'll talk a little bit about it too. So that Live to 100, it's a great documentary series on Netflix. Sadiq pulled it up for us. One of the most interesting things, these blue zones are all over the world, right? And one of the things that they talked about is every single one of those had community. That was one of the only things that they had in common. Different kinds of food, different kinds of things, but all of them had community. So next thing, you never know what people are going through on a ride. So that's, there's definitely times where it's maybe there's someone who is challenging on the group ride. Someone's maybe a little bit short that day. We really don't know what people are going through.
Exactly.
I'm talking about you. Maybe you had a bad day at work. You're stuck in traffic, or you had some crazy thing happen where there's something financially hanging in the balance, and you're like, I just need to clear my head. I'm going to go out and ride. So we really don't know, what people are going through, and you never know when that may be an opportunity after the ride. Maybe you'll have, someone. So, and you kind of covered this already, but what does writing mean to you?
Writing, what it means to me is, in a nutshell, friendship. It's a great way to pass the time, to fill time, the healthy way, because we all know that there's other things we could be doing. But getting out there and, being a part of the community, seeing what's going on, right around parks, right around football games. I feel like you get like a scope of what's going on with the community and the area for the evening. Like on a Friday or Thursday evening, you see the football games going on with local high schools. You'll hear the bands, and especially if you ride down towards downtown Riverside, you'll get a little bit of the hustle and bustle from the downtown. You'll hear all the neat music and the noise, and like we talked about the electric parade. In Riverside, there's lot to do and a lot of places to ride. So if you want to, there's opportunity. You just got to take it.
Absolutely. And you're a busy professional, running around all the time. It's probably good. I guess that's probably something to mention too, scheduling wise. We have so many options, even with just RBC. You can fit almost any time schedule too. Mornings, and you can work out. So it's like, boom, you're riding and then you're done. And I think that's probably one of the things that has been good for me as a dad and a business professional myself. One of the other things I'll have Sadiq bring up that show. You're going to recognize, some of you guys should recognize this. This is Rhett Nelson, 80 years old. He's riding an e-bike out there, and they say it's Loma Linda, and they are featuring Loma Linda as a blue zone, which is really cool because it's so close to us. These are zones where people live over 100 years old. The cool thing, though, is that was all shot where? In Riverside. Sycamore Canyon is where there's a whole little section where they don't have like Rhett being interviewed, but he's like riding through. I even have like a little clip. I'm sure fair use will let me get away with a little bit, but this is a little bit of the clip for him riding.
Yeah, people have no idea what kind of mixed terrain we have in our backyard.
I mean, Sycamore is pretty cool. You've ridden with us on the gravel pack through, Sycamore. And there you are right there with the group. That was a pretty good group that day. What do you like most about gravel riding?
Me personally, you know what? I've been giving this a lot of thought. I like the versatility. I like the fact that you can go from a dirt road to a regular road, a gravel road or a asphalt road. The transition is simple, and you know it's the best of both worlds because I come from mountain biking and road biking, and it's hard to choose one. So you're
Mhm.
pretty much you're doing both.
Yeah.
But don't get it twisted. You're not.
Yeah, it's something in between for sure. We have a
Yeah.
couple people that they'll ride 1 day a week, maybe. So I think Michael Hampton's still doing that, where he's
Yeah.
riding road. I think twice a week. I think he still rides weekends, and then
Hmm.
Tuesdays, and then he'll ride with us on Thursdays, just for something a little bit different. Um, let's talk about a more controversial topic: e-bikes. I think for me, I'm putting that in that line there. Be safe, ride with your friends. It can account for health conditions. We don't want a bunch of young people running out and buying e-bikes. We don't even want a ton of people running out and buying e-bikes. But we do have
Correct.
people with health issues. Maybe you've made that community,
Hmm.
RBC or your cycling friends has become your community, and maybe you have gone through a season in your life where you haven't been able to ride and you can't keep up with the same people that you used to be able to keep up with last year, last month, whatever. What are your thoughts on e-bikes?
I believe they do have a very important place in our ecosystem. Um, I've had a friend that suffered a stroke. Maybe today. It was actually a year ago.
Wow.
He posted earlier today that he's celebrating a year of recovery.
Mm.
He's back riding and he's using an e-bike. So to me, that is fantastic because if this was back in the day, it's you don't have that technology. You're
Yeah.
limited. But with an e-bike, you can kind of live kind of the lifestyle you did, and it won't be so much of a strain on your body.
Yeah, and there's so much tech out there, folks, too. I would say give it a check. I mean, they even have ones that will only kick in if it reaches a heart rate threshold. They have some of those bikes that are available. I would say be careful. Make sure if you're looking into that because of health conditions or whatever, that you don't get like a push button one. I'm just talking specifically with group riding. Those that bike that was up on screen, that works off of you pushing the pedal and the motor assisting you. It is not like just a freewheeling motor, which on the cruise rides like the Riverside Electric Light Parade, those are great. But when you're in a group setting and that thing is going, they get jumpy, and you're in a group. And so we want to be accommodating, but we also want everybody to be safe. We want everybody to be careful. So we don't want people jumping in, with something that goes 35 miles an hour and you push a button. We want things that would help people and assist people. And I feel like that's the best space for it. I think that's where we would like to see it within, our system here. What are some favorite products of cycling for you?
Right now, I'm currently liking all the Oakley sunglasses. If I don't have the money, I'll go with the lower Rock Brothers models. But one thing that you can't go wrong is always having a fresh, clean pair, especially
Yeah.
with gravel. I find that in graveling, your equipment gets dirtier quicker,
Oh, yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
you need your vision. So after a while, I want to say maybe about a couple months, your glasses are going to get pit marks. They're going to get dirty and they're going to get foggy. So I suggest fresh them up. If not, get new lenses. Oakley has a great lens replacement program.
Mhm.
Rock Brothers are cheap enough so that you can just buy a pair when you need them.
Yeah. Rock Brothers are a good starting point. Oakleys are
Mm-hmm.
great. And on Oakleys, this is like their Prism off road. You can wear these. I think looks like you have Prism Road. They highlight and contrast a road. And then for these, they bring out like if you're on brown dirt,
Mm-hmm.
it gives more contrast off-road, basically, just like it sounds. And then, and again, I'm not affiliated with any of these things. Revent Optics, I guess I forgot to put that up there. There's a whole company that all they do is make replacements for existing glasses. So maybe you broke your pair. Yeah, blenders are good and affordable. I've seen those. I think Hugo rocks those. Revent Optics, though, you can $30-$40. You can replace Oakley's, their lenses or whatever. And then, like you said, they have lens replacements. Now, it doesn't work if you got your Oakley's used. So check into that. And then both me and Tony are very strong advocates of Buy Where You Ride. We want to make sure we're supporting all of our local bike shops. We don't have a huge amount of them here as, Cyclery USA. They were helping us when we were doing one of our anniversary rides, and providing that for us there, which is really awesome. And then you bought recently a rack, right? What rack?
I bought the Quat, or is that how you pronounce it, Quat?
I think so. It's the weirdest thing to say ever. QUAT, but it's got a weird little double dot.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Envy, right? Yeah,
you got the brand Thule. I said it wrong for a long time. I called it Thule or Thule, but it's Thule.
Thule. Oh yeah, I guess I've probably been saying it wrong too. Look at that Thule. Yeah, and you got the Envy, right? So you have a rack stand. So you have like a work stand.
Correct.
If you work on your bike in a parking lot, you can do that, and you usually show up early, all the time with your stuff. All right, and I think that kind of wraps it up. Was there anything else that you wanted to mention? We got done quicker than I thought.
No, you went over everything that we had scheduled, but you reiterized the point of camaraderie, and you never know what someone's going through. It just, I believe, or what I have seen with my own eyes, is RBC is a great group of people that look out for each other.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if we've had a bad day, just leave your problems at the door and come in and ride. And, we're going to take you as is. We're not going to judge you. Just come and ride and put in your time and put everything behind you.
And when you look at a group on one of the RBC things, you would look at that group, it's like those guys never would have met, if it wasn't for bike ride, different socioeconomic classes, completely different political views, and everything in between. And a lot of really great conversations start with people just coming together and riding bikes. And I think that's been one of the most impressive things when I've gone through hard stuff myself. I would really advocate for cycling, or not cycling. Obviously I'm advocating for cycling. I would really advocate for therapy, or, different organizations like church, whatever. Those kind of things can help you. But you still need a space to kind of work those things out. And there's just so many options. Once you learn, how to ride, you get all these cool things that, I don't know if I mentioned the Stashers thing. Once you get the legs underneath you, you can do gravel, you can do mountain, you can do road, and you can do something silly like get one of these bags, you put food or a digital SLR in there. You can even put a growler. It'll keep your drink cold for like 4 hours. Go ride somewhere and, have some beers or whatever with some buddies up at the top of a hill.
Keep a burrito or a submarine sandwich in there.
Yeah, that'd be a big submarine sandwich in there.
There you go.
That'd be a big sandwich, big old sandwich. And then we'll try to do a little, if you guys have other things you want to do, this is one of the ones you guys have probably seen me. If you've ridden with me, these Fix-It sticks. They have a mountain bike pack, which is everything. This has a chain breaker, tire levers just pop onto the sticks here, and everything in between. So I've been fixing a lot of people's bikes with that kit, and I didn't feature it there, but it's easy to find.
What's your recommended bike lumens for a rear light in the trail?
Yeah, so for us, it is something that's going to be different coming from road. That's a good question. I would say for us, almost all of us are around 1,500, or we're running 2 1,000 lumen lights. Now on road, I always ran just a single super light in motion that's about 1,000 lumens, and you really don't need any more on the road. But when you don't know what the off-road conditions are, you need more distance and you need more brightness. And so my current one, I have a burst mode that goes up to 2,200, but I typically keep it from 800 to 1600, and it's a dual bulb light. And almost all of us have either a dual bulb light or running two lights spaced out on the handlebars. So good question. One little thing on the gravel there. I think that's it. And then we'll try to feature more stuff. But again, just running through those things. If you want to be part of the nomination board to help us figure out who's, doing next year, then contact us. We'll send out that email as well. And then helping out at the Hardman ride. Cause I think if we can start, if people see RBC showing up and helping out at a Hardman ride, maybe we can ask them to, help out with one of our volunteer events, and we can kind of tag team that way. That way, all of you guys get to ride, and then we have, other people that get to volunteer and vice versa. So until next time, when in doubt, pedal it out.